Hey, hola, namaste, bonjour, ça va? It's me, the Lost Canuck, coming at you live and in person on this super unusual warm fall day here in Wisconsin. So you're probably wondering, Lost Canuck, what the heck are you doing with another box? Well, look, my friends at TooGooD have asked me if I would be interested in doing a full, open, and honest review of their number 32 commercial grinder. So I said, sure. I'm sick and tired of using my wife's KitchenAid upstairs. So what the heck? Let's give this a shot. Now, so basically what this video is going to be is me unboxing the grinder, setting it up, showing you some of the features. Then I'm going to test it out and do some meat grinding. I'm going to let you know. It's going to be a Lost Canuck honest review. Is this thing any good? Is it a piece of junk? Is it wonderful? We'll find out soon. So stay tuned and let's roll that intro. Alright, well we're back, and like I said, these guys at TooGooD want me to take a look at their grinder. Now this is a big grinder. It's a number 32 commercial grinder. So that means it can run about, and I was just read the instruction manual that came with it, about 750 pounds of meat in an hour, or about 12.5 pounds of meat every minute. Now that's probably pretty conservative. So what we're going to do is we'll unbox this in fast forward, then I'll go through what all the stuff is. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, well now that we got it out of the box, this thing's a beast. Okay, it weighs over 60 pounds. It's and here's a couple of the specs in it. It's got a 1.5 horsepower motor, which is 1100 watts. Okay, it'll run 750 pounds of meat in an hour, or 12.5 a minute. And it's got this really nice, I don't even want to touch it, smudge it up a bit, but it's got this mirror polished finish on it, so it is quite nice. What do you get with it, Lost Canuck? Well, I send you different stuffing tubes. Now these are for making sausage, so you got a large one, smaller one, and then a teeny tiny one. So if you wanted to make brats or sausage or anything, that's what this is for. Who needs a grinder like this? Well, like I said, I used to use my wife's KitchenAid, and she didn't like me using it too much because, you know, I'd mess up the kitchen and everything. So now I have my own grinding solution. So let's go get my tape measure and we'll go through some of the dimensions and then put it together, and we're going to give her a try. Make some ground beef. All right, we'll see you in a second. All right, well, you're probably wondering, well, who is this grinder geared for? Well, this is built, or these types of grinders are built, and look, 32 is not the only size these guys have. They've got an 8 and a 22 and different sizes. So this is the biggest unit they happen to have. You don't have to get something this large, but this is pretty cool, and it's what I'm going to review. So who's this geared towards? Well, it's geared towards, you know, hunters. If you go harvest deer or elk or whatever, you can grind it all through here. Or if you buy half a cow or something like that for the winter, you can make your own ground beef. Now look, me personally, the price of beef has gone nuts. Okay, it's sky high. And believe it or not, when I'm in Costco and Sam's Club and I look at the price of a brisket compared to the price of just ground beef, I can buy a brisket, a whole pack of brisket, cheaper per pound than I can with ground beef. Plus, when you grind brisket with the fat, it's usually, yes, whole thing, like on a choice or a prime, it's usually 75, 25, sometimes 80-20, it depends if it's a choice. Prime is around 75. So you're getting high quality ground beef and it tastes better, my opinion. Now, leave me a comment below. Do you grind your own beef? Do you think it tastes better? I think for the minimal amount of processing, I like it. Got the grinder unpacked. There's your hopper. And let's take some dimensions here. This thing is massive. The main unit, we'll go down where it sits on these rubber feet. It's about 18 this way, okay, long, by 9 1/4 that way. Okay, so on your main, this is the nut that holds all your parts in place. And I forgot to mention, I'm a mechanical engineer and I work as a process engineer or a design engineer in the food processing industry. So I've been working around in industrial grinders for 30 years. And let me tell you, this thing is pretty heavy duty. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks here in a minute. Okay, so what do you get? What was inside the throat that you just took off? Well, let's go through it. So that's your main housing, okay? Now this you want to keep really clean after you're done using it. So what you do is you insert your auger into the back, like so. This is your knife, 4-bladed knife, stainless steel auger. Now it says everything is stainless, and I believe it. And let's check with a magnet. But okay, usually knives and grinding plates like these aren't non-austenitic stainless steel. Okay, what that means is these are likely going to be magnetic. And the reason is you can't harden 300 series stainless steel. So these are likely hardened a different stainless steel, 400 series, 1000 series. What's it say on here? Number 32. Okay, doesn't tell you the series. Look, you get two different grind sizes that come standard with the grinder. This is a 10 millimeter hole, and this is a 4.5 millimeter hole. What does that mean to me, Lost Canuck? Well, good question. 4.5 millimeter holes, which is a fine grind, so a little over 1/8 of an inch. Not 3/16, but just a touch over 1/8 on the 4.5. And the 10 millimeter is 3/8, basically. Okay, well, that makes sense mathematically, too. Okay, so we were putting this back together. Oh, no, wait. Let me get a magnet. Just to hang tight. All right. Well, I got my magnet. Let's just do a quick magnet test. Now, just because it's magnetic doesn't mean it's not stainless steel. There are many different grades of stainless steel. 300 series, like 304, 316, those are non-magnetic. So we'll just check to see what the housing is. Slightly magnetic, but not really. So it's probably a 400 series, which is fine. It won't rust. Now these blades are a different type of stainless. So look, when you're done using them and you clean them, I always like to use food grade mineral oil. Well, at the food plants, that's what I do, is you spray them down, make sure you got a nice little coating of oil on them, then you put them away, and then they'll never rust. Same with the blade. This here is, we'll check and see what kind of stain. This is also magnetic style of stainless. How about this cabinet? Well, the polished cabinet is pure. It's a 300 series, so this is a beautiful cabinet. And then same with the front of this. Yeah, so this whole cabinet's 300 series, so this will never rust. Your hopper, yeah, very slight magnetic, so I'm guessing 400 series. So look, it's all stainless. Now, the parts you want to keep oiled are your grinding plates, your knife, and your auger. The augers, I'd be super surprised if it was stainless. You know what it is. It's like a 400 series, so that's pretty good. So look, this is a quality grinder. So let's get it assembled again. Oh, and when you're putting this thing together, you want to make sure that the blade is always flat like this on your grinding plate, okay? Because if you have it backwards, it won't work. All right, so I showed you how the knife goes on, how the grinding plate goes on, etc. So what you want to do first to put this thing together is you get your throat on and assemble it onto the main part here, the body, okay? And it's slotted, so you want to make sure it's pushed in, and this part obviously facing up, okay? Then you get this little knob in your package. Funny how I said that. And you just tighten it down so it doesn't move, okay? Now she's tight. Basically, it's like a set screw. Okay, that part's done. We'll take the knife off. Now, I can feel the oil on the surface. It's got food grade mineral oil on it. Oh, okay, before we do all this, I forgot to show you one key thing. Okay, how Lost Canuck, you're wondering, how do you know this is a quality grinder? Well, I think it is. We still have to test it, so the jury's out. But it matches the industrial grinders that I'm used to. It has rifling in here, okay? I don't know if you can see that. Try and show it to you. So it has rifling inside the barrel of the grinder, which is important. So when the auger's pushing the meat, it goes against the barrel, and it just doesn't slide by the auger like it does on my KitchenAid. Okay, so this is built to industrial standards. So let's put this thing together. Okay, I showed you how it all went together off the main motor. We'll get this pushed in. You need this nut here. It's a set screw basically. Okay, so it's finger tight. It's not going anywhere. All right, so you take your auger, and it's got a nice thin, I can feel it, it's got a thin coat of food grade mineral oil. Now this is splined. See that? So when you push it in, go gentle and then turn it until it seats into position. So you want to put this in here, like that. There. See, I didn't even have to turn it much. Okay, so it's in position. Knife, remember, flat side points out to your grinding plate, like that. Now choose whatever grinding plate you want to use. I'm using the 4.5 millimeter grinding plate. And you want to match it up with the tab, like that. Okay, now all you have to do is take your nut and tighten it up. This is just like, well, I'm used to using grinders like a Weiler grinder, Cazzini grinder, Beehive grinder, all the above. You just want to make sure that that's tight. There. Okay, so now we're tight. Let's put the hopper assembly on. That's this. Let's look at the throat size on here. So, I didn't show you what the throat size was. That's how big pieces you can put into your hopper. So the 2.5 inch throat diameter on this barrel, which is huge. Okay, you can get big chunks. Now, how big is your hopper? Let's take a look. It's just under 2.5. So you can put some pretty hefty pieces of meat through here. Okay, and this just sits on here like this, like so. Goes over top of your handle. There. All right. So, look, again, I work as an engineer in the meat processing industry. Safety first. This is really important, and I'll show you this when I'm actually grinding meat. But this is your meat stomper, okay? So when you have your meat up here in the hopper, never put your fingers down in here, okay? Because there's an auger in there. If you put your fingers down there, you will get your fingers cut off. I guarantee it. Don't do that. So when you're putting the meat in, you want to use this And that just stomps it down. You can use either end. It's not gonna, this won't get caught in your auger. It's made so that it won't hit it, okay? Okay, looks like they give you a little brush to clean, but again, it's easy to clean. You take this all apart, just like I showed you how to put it together. Dishwasher safe because it is stainless steel. And so let's go plug this thing in, get some brisket to grind through it, and we'll make some brisket. We'll see how fast this thing really goes. See you in a second. Lost Canuck out. Hey, well, we're back at the TooGooD grinder again, the 1.5 horsepower number 32. And I haven't ground anything in it yet. I'm just getting it ready. But I forgot to show you how you set it up for sausage stuffing. This thing stuffs sausages as well. So take the end nut off. Pull the I got the 4.5 millimeter in because that's what I was going to grind. And take off your knife. And you can leave the auger in as long as we're in the splines. Okay. So they send you a little sausage plate. Now, in the industry that I'm in, meat processing, we call this a kidney plate. They probably just call this a sausage stuffing plate, but it's a 2-hole kidney plate. Got to put the knife back on. Now, you're going to be feeding your coarse ground in here anyways, so this knife just helps it push it along. So we're just going to put the kidney plate back on. Make sure that there's a notch on the bottom and that it's all aligned. Your stuffing horn, they're interchangeable. This is your main piece. There's your large, medium, and small. So we'll just screw the large one on just for demonstration purposes. And we'll put the nut over it, just like that. Do not cross thread your nut because stainless galls pretty easy. It's all set up for stuffing. You just turn it on, feed your coarse ground or whatever you want to grind that you just ground previously, and slip your casings over top, and then out comes you can tie your sausages and out they come. We're not making any sausages today, but we are going to grind some beef here shortly. Keep your grind after you wash and clean and have them all soaped down and dried. Get yourself some food grade mineral oil and just give them a little squirt, and that'll keep them looking like brand new. It won't rust. Because this is even though they are stainless steel, to harden them, this is an austenitic stainless steel, so over time they will slightly surface rust, and that's with all grinders. Hey, all right, well, it's your friendly neighborhood Lost Canuck. We're back upstairs. We're in the barbecue lab, and I got a brisket here. Now, you just saw me put the grinder, take it out of the box, put it together, show you how it all goes together, show you the stuffing nozzle, all that stuff. So we're ready to grind. So one thing you're going to notice if you go to like a Costco, which is where I got this brisket from, or any place, butcher shops, grocery stores, ground beef is like super expensive right now. Anything beef's expensive. So this is where your grinder is going to come in super handy. At least mine does. This choice brisket was $4.99 a pound. The ground beef in Costco was $5+ a pound. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim some of the oxidized parts off here. Not much. And then we're going to section this up and grind her up in the morning. So let's get this cut up. Now remember, the throat of my new grinder is about 2.5 inches, so we'll cut them into about 1-inch strips. And let's get this out of the package first, and then I'll go through my crazy theory here on how I'm going to cut this. Oh, this is a choice brisket. I don't think any of the butcher shops or anybody else is grinding more than choice anyways. They're certainly not grinding prime or Wagyu unless you're paying a real premium for it. So then once you get it out of the package, you just inspect it a bit. So I see some silver skin on here. You're probably going to want to remove that. And then you can see there's some oxidation here on this side. Now that's just a part of the process at the beef plant where they harvest this off the animal. It leaves this from some of the steam. So you're going to want to try and save as much of this meat as you can. So we're just going to take off the oxidation. See, that's that brown oxidized stuff. You don't want that into your hamburger meat. Remember, we're not trimming it for eating, we're trimming it for grinding. Just take off the top layer of your hard fat, like just a little bit, just because it doesn't render too well, and you want your burgers to cook up nice. So here's the theory, okay? So here's the grain of the meat this way, and then it changes as you go up to the point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it with the grain, okay? And then when it goes with the grain, when it's going through your grinder and it's getting the grains, my fingers, are getting cut by the grinding knife and plate, well, it's against the grain. So your cuts, just in my head maybe, but maybe you'll get a better, more flavorful ground beef. So we want to get our size so that we can run it down the throat of our grinder. So I'm going to lay this out on a tray. Maybe you can't see this. And what I'll do is I'll put this in the freezer about 30 minutes before I'm ready to grind. Because you don't want to have frozen meat in your grinder, but you don't want to have really warm meat going through there, because the grinder adds heat to your ground beef, the mechanical working of it. Okay, so just by eyeballing this, we're probably at a 80-20 mix on this brisket. Now it's going to get fatter as we get into the point. Well, we're going to have a lot of hamburger meat, that's for sure. And so what I used to do on the old grinder, on the KitchenAid over there, is I would grind it up and then put it into weigh it out on a scale, put it into little 1-pound bags, and then you got your ground meat for the month or the week or whatever. Okay, so let's take a look at what we got here. Take the camera down. Okay, so here's our trays of cut up meat. I'll put them in the fridge for now, and then when it's time to grind, we'll grind these up in the morning. See you down at the grinder. Hey, well, we're back in the barbecue barn. I've got the new TooGooD 1.5 horsepower grinder all ready to go. Just took the meat out of the freezer, and it's nice and stiff now. It's not frozen. Let's do a quick temperature check. Yeah, it's like 32, 34. Yeah, it's not frozen. Crystallization temperature for meat is in the upper 20s, so we'll be fine. Okay, so I'm going to grab my little meat stomper here so I don't stick my hands down into the grinder, and let's turn it on and see what happens. Put a few pieces in here. Feeds out pretty nice. pretty good. I don't know. I didn't cut this last piece very good. We'll see if I can stomp that in there. Yeah, I took it. So that looks pretty good. Let's turn this off. We're all done. So what did that take us? At 17 pounds, it took us like a couple minutes, and I was going pretty slow feeding it. So just do a quick temperature check of our final product. Yeah, so it does work it a bit. It's 40. That's why you wanna put it in your freezer for a bit. Yep, 40, 41, 38 over here, 38. Okay, so due to the mechanical action of your grinder, it does increase the temperature now. What was I probing there? 32 for. So it brought it up 5, 6, 8 degrees max. Okay, so tip from the Lost Canuck: put your meat in the freezer for maybe 20 minutes just to get it the surface a little stiff. And this thing's a 1.5 horsepower motor, so it'll grind through pretty much anything as long as you don't have any bones. And it's a dual capacitor motor, so for all you engineers that are electrical engineers that are watching, it's always good to have a run and a start capacitor to keep this thing going. It'll last longer. All right, well, let's go upstairs. We're going to take our ground meat, I'm going to put it in our vac sealer, and then I'm going to put it in the freezer. I'll see you up in the barbecue lab. See you in a second. Okay, well, we're up in the barbecue lab, and I brought the ground beef with me. That's our ground brisket, which is super yummy. And we are going to put this into little 1 pound bags. Now I got my little vac bag maker. Now I probably made the first bag too big, but that's okay. So what do we in here? Okay, so let's make a 1 pound amount. Okay, so that's about a pound of meat. What we'll do is open our bag up. Look at that, I didn't even seal it. Let's seal the bag first. Okay, now our bag has a bottom. I've sealed it. So, like I said, I probably made the first bag too big. I'll do a couple bags and then you'll get the gist of it, and then I'll finish it up. Flattened it down, made a square shape. Like I said, I made this bag a little too big. We'll just seal it and I'll vacuum it. There we go. I don't have the fastest, super fancy sealing machine, chamber machine, but this will do the trick. You don't have to have something like this. You can go to Costco and get yourself a food saver or whatever. All right, done. So there you go. There's a little vac sealed 1 pound pack of ground brisket. Now I'm going to make 17 more and then load it into the freezer, and then I'll give you my final thoughts here in a second. Stay tuned. Hey, all right. Well, it's your friendly neighborhood Lost Canuck. I'm back upstairs in the barbecue lab. I'm going to give you my final thoughts and conclusions on the TooGooD number 32 commercial grinder. And my dog's pretty excited about the final thoughts and review too. So I don't need my hat, my cooking hat, so we're all done that. So you saw me unbox it, assemble it a couple different ways. You saw me grind brisket through it. You saw me vac pack the brisket, and in a second I'll show you I've got it all taken apart and cleaned. It was very simple. So look, is it a good grinder, a decent grinder? Is it junk? Is it great? I'm giving it a thumbs up. It's a heck of a solid industrial style grinder. 1.5 horsepower, 1100 watts of power going through there. It didn't hesitate, and I had some big pieces going through there, almost 2.5-inch pieces, shoving it straight down in there. Didn't hesitate, ground right through it. So look, if you're a backyard barbecue guy like me, it's a great grinder. If you're a hunter or you buy half a cow and you want to grind up a lot of meat, it's a good option. It's stainless steel. It's the cabinet's got a beautiful mirror polished finish to keep it clean. It's really nice. And so yeah, would I buy this again? Absolutely. Look, I'll leave you a link down below if you're interested in something like this. Click on that and check it out. Just giving you the honest review. Does what it's advertised to do. I had no problems. Easy to assemble, easy to take apart. It's super simple. There's only, 6 parts you got to take apart. So I just cleaned it. So here, let me take it off the tripod and I'll show you. All right, so took apart the barrel. It's all nice and clean in there. Got the auger clean, the nut, the knife, grinding plate. Now look, you need to spray some food grade mineral oil on there and put it in a baggie. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now that's the and I also cleaned the hopper out too. So look, I appreciate the guys at TooGooD sending that little brush that came with it. But look, you're going to need to get yourself like a big scrub brush that's about the same diameter as this, and this really helps cleaning it out. Okay, so this is just a dollar store brush you can get anywhere for doing dishes. Okay, well, so there's the review. Lost Canuck approved. It worked great. And if you made it this far, you made it to the end of the video. Thanks for sticking with me. For all my new people watching, consider hitting that like button. It really helps the channel, helps my videos. The subscribe and the notify me. And for all of you returning subscribers, thanks for coming back to the channel. I review all kinds of different equipment all the time, and thanks for watching. And then look, if you're interested in anything else I use, like my little stainless tables or any of that stuff, just check out the Lost Canuck store. It's an Amazon affiliate store below, and that also helps the channel. And then finally, hey, if you've got the ability to hit the hype button, that really helps my channel. So besides hitting the like, if you liked the video and you found it helpful, hit that hype button. All right, so final words. Lost Canuck always says, remember, be kind to each other. It really matters. Mental health nowadays is super important. It's getting really tough out there, so remember, be kind. All right. Lost Canuck says, take care, love you guys, bye-bye.